morning, KXP. I'm Rayleigh.
And I'm JJ.
Hey, JJ, before we go any further, let's make sure everyone is awake. I want you to turn to someone sitting next to you, give them a high five, and say, welcome to church.
Hey, let's go.
Welcome to church, JJ. Hey, look, we're going to be continuing in our Stand Firm series, and that means we need to say our memory verse together.
Let's go. All right, so the memory verse is on screen. Let's get our Bibles out, and if you need help, turn to your leader and just ask for help. They will help you in any way possible. So the Bible verse comes from 1 Corinthians 15:58, and it says this: "Therefore, my brothers and sisters, stand firm. Let nothing move you." Rayleigh, I love that memory verse. It's so good. But we got a big idea. Could you tell them?
Yeah, that's right. Our big idea for this week is stand firm and trust that God will be with you. And we're going to hear an incredible story today about a time God's people trusted in Him and He was with them. So let's go hear that from our friend Ben now.
Hey y'all, so glad to be back with you in KXP. Last week we started talking about standing firm on Jesus, our rock. He is the firm foundation that we can build our lives on. Today we will read about 3 men who stood firm on what they believed, even when it put their lives in danger. So let's open our Bibles to the book of Daniel and begin reading in chapter 3. Our true Bible story tells about a king named King Nebuchadnezzar. He had a gold statue made that was 90 feet high and 9 feet wide. Man, that is enormous. The king was proud of this gold statue and wanted everyone in the land to bow down and worship it. When horns and musical instruments sounded, everyone was to bow down and worship. Verse 6 says, everyone must bow down and worship this gold statue. Anyone who doesn't will be quickly thrown into a blazing furnace. That sounds really harsh, doesn't it? If a person did not bow down to the king's gold statue, which was an idol, by the way, then they would be thrown into a hot furnace. A furnace is like a huge oven where metal and other things are melted down. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you know what an idol is? See, an idol is something you worship and give your attention to. Long ago, an idol was something like a statue, the sun, or animals. People would give their love and attention to these things instead of the one true God. Believe it or not, there are still idols today. They just look different. People give their love and attention to things like their phones, money, and jobs. Remember, anything that takes your love, worship, and attention away from God is an idol. So back to the story. There were men from Judah who were important officers. These men did not bow down and worship the gold statue when the horns and instruments sounded. Verse 12 says their names are Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They do not serve your gods, and they do not worship the gold statue you have set up. This made King Nebuchadnezzar very angry. He went to the 3 men and commanded them to bow down and worship his idol, or he would have them thrown into the fiery furnace. The men refused to do what the king commanded. They answered the king, saying in verse 17, "You can throw us into the blazing furnace. The God we serve is able to save us from the furnace and your power. If he does this, it is good." The 3 men were standing firm for what they knew was right. God commands his followers to worship him only and not put other idols before him. The king was furious and ordered the furnace to be heated 7 times hotter than usual. What, 7 times? He had 3 men tied up and thrown into the blazing furnace. You might think that was the end for the 3 men, and surely they died in the flames. But God is a God of miracles. What happened next is mind-blowing. Let's read on in verse 25. The king said, "Look, I see 4 men. They are walking around in the fire. They are not tied up, and they are not burned. The 4th man looks like a son of the gods." God was with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fire. He sent an angel to protect them and save their lives. God cares for his people. The men obeyed God's command to worship him only, and he saved them from the fire. They were not burned. Their clothes were fine. They didn't even smell like smoke. This was a powerful miracle for all to see. The king said this in verse 28, "These 3 men trusted their God. They refused to obey my command, and they were willing to die rather than serve or worship any god other than their own." Even the angry king's heart was softened that day. Our big idea this week is stand firm and trust that God will be with you. That's what the 3 men did. They trusted that God would be with them no matter what, and they stood firm on his promise. Jesus trusted his Father to always be with him in the best of times and the worst of times, and we can trust God too. Hey, thanks for joining me today. Come back next week for more true stories from the Bible here in KXP.